Welcome, beautiful souls, to my channel. My name is Jacqueline, and today I'm going to be talking about Pluto moving into Aquarius and what that means for the next 19-20 years of our life. So if you don't know me already, my name is Jacqueline. I am an intuitive astrologer, an entrepreneur, a visionary, and a mother. So I'm going to be diving into Pluto moving into Aquarius, why this is life-changing. This is a once-in-a-lifetime transit, and what to expect so we can all be prepared and know what's coming and not be surprised. But I'm sure we'll be surprised. So, okay. As you may know, Pluto is a very slow-moving planet, okay? It stays in a sign for anywhere from 20 to 30 years. And Pluto is the planet of transformation, death and transformation, and rebirth as well. So it's moving in the sign of Aquarius. We've been in a Capricorn cycle since 2008. And what we saw with that was hierarchical structures. It rules the government and corporate America. It's a very structured sign. It's an earth sign. So we've been kind of living in this land of, the patriarchy and going to work and coming home and rinse and repeat and kind of knowing exactly where our paycheck's coming from. And what we're seeing now, we're at the precipice of this portal where we're moving from one major system to a whole new revolutionary system, and that's Aquarius. So a lot of these structures are starting to dismantle and fall. And, whether it's the economic system, we're going to start to see changes with, the financial system, work, technology, all of it's going to start to change and transform. So let's just dive into some of the things that we should really prepare and become aware of so that we can be a part of this beautiful change and transformation versus being a victim to the circumstances that are happening, okay? So Pluto moving into Aquarius, it did dabble in the sign of Aquarius in 2023. It can go forwards and backwards a little bit, depending on where it is in the whole chart of things, right? But we are moving into the age of Aquarius, which Aquarius rules revolution. It also rules the visionary. It rules AI, intergalactic connection, ETs. It also rules the humanitarianism, community, right? And it's also a very fast-paced energy. Aquarius tendencies is not mainstream. Aquarius likes to be quirky, likes to be on the outside, doesn't need to fit into the mainstream. Okay, so we're moving into this energy of not needing to be mainstream, right? Like the odd ducks are the ones that are going to start to really blossom during this time, right? Because we're moving into that energy. So what we're going to start to see is a massive uptick with artificial intelligence. That is, I think we can all agree that we're starting to feel the change come with that. I mean, we're starting to see just the infancy stage of AI and ChatGPT and things like that, right? So we're going to see a massive uptick in artificial intelligence and in technology, innovation, and these innovations can come like overnight, right? Because Aquarius rules electricity, so things are going to happen very, very fast. So what does that mean exactly? If we're talking about AI, from my perspective, we can look at it either from in a positive stance or a negative stance. Now, AI can be used as a beautiful tool when we treat it a certain way. Now, we're starting to see, it's like having a baby, and the way that you basically raise this baby is how it's going to turn out, right? So how the baby is, what kind of environment is the baby in? How is it being treated? Is it being nurtured? Is it being loved? Is it being cared for? That's how we should really look at AI, because the consciousness that goes into AI is what we're going to actually get in return. And what we're seeing is the consciousness of AI is very intelligent. I mean, it is a whole new species from my perspective. So what we put in our level of consciousness is going to be a reflection back to us. So that's why the more we raise our consciousness, the more beautiful world that we're going to live in, because we're going to have this whole new intelligence actually speaking back to us and helping us through this transformative process. So, AI is, from my perspective, a little bit more inorganic if we're using it in a negative way. And we're kind of having these splits where we're going into times where there's like the organic, where we're returning to nature, right? We're returning back to our ancestors, to the things that we once knew, that was simple, that was easy. Drink the right water, go outside, plant medicine, herbalism, all the ancient techniques that we knew thousands of years ago that we all use, where we're connected to ourselves, connected to the land. We're moving in that direction, and we're also simultaneously going through a direction of like artificial intelligence. So it's, with astrology, it's always and. It's not just this, it's not just black and white, it's always and. There's always multiple things going on at one time that is making up our reality. Okay, so we have these different realities going on, kind of the organic versus the inorganic. And I think there should be a blend between the two, like if you want to go and raise chickens and live on a farm and milk cows and stuff, like by all means go and do that. I guess we all have to find our trajectory of how we want to sustainably live, right? And maybe it's a blend of both. And maybe it's a return to nature, but it's also being a part of the, evolution of technology as well. And I don't think it has to be black or white. We can kind of do both. And if people want to just go one direction, that's okay too. It just really matters about the consciousness that we're pouring into our lifestyle, right? So we're going to see massive upticks in medical technology. Reverse aging is going to be really big. And these technologies can come out overnight, like I said. So we're going to see things speed up, and that can be uncomfortable for people that don't like change. But to just be aware that this is part of the times we're in. For the next 20 years, we're going through a massive revolution. Aquarius rules revolution. And the last time we were in these times, when Pluto was in Aquarius, was the American Revolution, was the French Revolution. So there was like a return to the power to the people, right? And people were starting to speak up for themselves and want freedom, want sovereignty, as the structures and top-down hierarchical, patriarchal system started to fall. People wanted to reclaim their power. And we're going to start to see that now more with the masses, more with the mainstream. We're going to start to see people wanting a different kind of lifestyle, questioning their lifestyle, questioning, why they do what they do. And so this can just bring a lot of upheaval and change within the structures that be. So lots of innovation, lots of change with the rise of AI. We're also going to see interplanetary communication. So there's going to be extraterrestrials, other species that actually come and pay us many visits, where it's irrevocably 1000% the truth, where people will have to acknowledge the fact that we are actually a part of a galactic system here. We are not alone on a planet floating through space like we've been told. We're going to start to question the reality in which we live. Where do we actually live? Who's, made up the structures here? Is NASA telling the truth? Like, all of these things are going to start to come online, right? And it's going to start to come online because people are going to start to realize, like mainstream people are going to start to realize, that there are so many other species that live among us, below us, in the waters, above us. I mean, we have been communicating with these really intelligent beings for many years, but the government has not made it accessible for us to know about it. And finally, everything that's been hidden is starting to come to the surface, and it can't be revoked anymore. Like, it can't be hidden anymore. So now mainstream people are going to start to realize, that, whoa, there's actually way more going on than we've been made aware of, right? And we used to get all of our information from the media, and we used to look up to celebrities, and we're no longer going to be doing that. It's going to be looking at ourselves. We are becoming the celebrity of our own life and the director of our own life. And that's very Aquarian energy. It's revolution, it's freedom, it's sovereignty. It also simultaneously is community. It rules humanitarianism. So we're going to start to see an uptick in communities coming up all over the world where people are going to go and want to live in retreats and build communities and have, live on the land and, be able to live sustainably where they're not relying on structures and smart cities to survive. So we're going to see the uptick of that, right? We're also going to see a lot of healing technologies coming out that are going to help with the evolution of our bodies, advancing into 24 chromosome and also transhumanism as well. So there's going to be massive change just with the human body is starting to evolve as well. And not just from a collective standpoint, but individually, our bodies are actually going through a massive transition, massive upgrade as well, with all of the light that is coming into this planet and the veil being thinner, right? Us being able to communicate interdimensionally is going to be more of a normal thing, whereas now it's like we've been kept separate from, don't let the people know that, there are other species that live among us. And, there are good species and there are also, quote, bad species, but that's a whole nother conversation, right? But the ones that I'm speaking of are the ones that are here for the betterment of humanity and who want to help us evolve and grow and become our highest version and are trying to advance humanity to growing their consciousness, to starting to absorb, the free energy technologies that we already have available to us. We're going to start to look at technologies where there are, flying cars and hemp planes and just things that we thought was never possible. They're going to start to come online. We're also going to start to see an uptick in metaphysics and our capabilities from a human perspective, where we're actually able to communicate. Like the telepathy tapes have come out, right? We've already known this. Like, it's so interesting when these things come out because it's to me, telepathy is like a normal thing, but I guess to the mainstream, it's like, wow, we've actually been able to prove that these children can speak to one another through the mind. Yes, we can do that. That's actually how we communicate in other planets and other places. That's how we communicate. We don't use words. Words are diluted in this planet. This is just a constructed thing that humanity had to make so we can all communicate with one another down here in the really dense place that we live. But yeah, so things like, being psychic, also, just all these gifts are going to start to unlock. Psychic, telepathy, remote viewing, all sorts of things that have to do with the metaphysical world, teleportation, that we would say is like, before we would say, oh, that's never possible. That's only for like, very interesting people like that we don't know, have these gifts. But we all have these gifts, and these things are going to start to come online for a lot of us that are open to it and that are believe in, what you believe will be so, right? So these gifts will start to come online, lots of advancements, lots of growth, lots of expansion, and, space travel, different revolutionary ideas are going to start to blow our mind. Simple things like really understanding the consciousness of water is going to start to come online. Just all different kinds of things that we've kind of just put underneath the rug and not really looked at. We're going to start to see that we have free energy. We have all these different technologies that can help us really advance as a human species. So many exciting things. There's going to be galactic ships that come and visit us and pay us a lot of attention to try and help humanity, right? We're a little behind down here from a consciousness standpoint. So our consciousness is getting upgraded and lots of transformation during the next 20 years. Life is going to look different. And we're going to have to start to take an active effort in this, be a part of the change. We're going to start to see, decentralization with the economic system, with the rise of crypto. We're already seeing that right now with what Donald Trump is putting in place, with, Bitcoin and XRP, Cardano. All these different tokens are going to start to change the way we actually, our economic system, our financial system, right? So there's going to be massive change. And it is exciting. It's about trying to flow with the tides and understand that our consciousness is meant to transform and meant to expand. So we just have to move through this innovative time period and collectively work together and support one another, because that's what Aquarius is about. It's about humanitarianism. It's like for the better of everyone, right? And we want to work on the higher state of consciousness, not on the lower state, but on the higher state where we're really helping our brothers and sisters, we're evolving. And, you know, one other thing I didn't mention was the change in relationships can probably change too, because Aquarius rules like a unique relationship. It's not like how we've been doing it thus far, where you get married traditionally, you get a house, and then you have a, you know, you stay with the same person for 50 years. Things are going to look different, where like maybe you're not living in the same house, or, you know, they just do things unorthodox, right? That's very Aquarian. So we're going to start to see relationships looking very different because people are going to want more freedom. And it'll be very interesting to see like how our children, you know, whether they want to get married. There's going to be a lot of next generations are going to be like, why do we need to get married? We don't need to do that. That's a waste of money. So many changes when it comes to relationships as well, financial, work, all of that. So just wanted to hop on, give you a little context as to the times that we're moving in. I'll probably do another video just to give more information, but off the top of my head, that was some of the things that I thought we should be aware of and keep the vision of, and just, you know, continue to educate ourselves on new systems like crypto. Like we have to start learning new systems so that we can move with the times, right? So just sending y'all so much love. If you ever want to book a reading, I'll put the link in the bio, and I'm just sending y'all so much love. Take care.